All right, guys, I want to give you a couple quick tips on troubleshooting the metering system of your 56 series seeder. Let's start with where the ECU is located. ECU is located right here, tucked inside, back behind the fan motor on the back side of the seeder, located right in there. If you're running an implement switch or a whisker switch, right there's your guy. 2-pin Deutz, you'll plug right into there. It's located right by those two relays. They are zipped up, zip tied in a little bit of a bundle there, so you'll have to look for them. Right there is a shaft speed sensor. It is a silver shaft. It's a 3-pin, and it's reading those sprockets. This unit has got 3 shaft speed sensors. There was one I just showed you. There is one right there. So basically one for each side of the meter. And then there's one that reads revolutions of the fan right there. So you've got a shaft speed sensor reading fan revolutions and one reading each side of the meter. There is your meter motor. That is what turns to turn the shaft. Now, if those clutches are energized, the shaft and the meters will turn as well. I say that because if you're not getting power through your ISO port, through this ISO cord hooked into the back of your tractor, this motor can spin, but the meters up front won't because your clutches aren't getting power. So sometimes you come back here to check and see if this motor's spinning, because you can't always see that from the front. Now here's an important part. This is the PWM valve. This is the workhorse for your metering system. I get a lot of guys that'll call and say, I can't get my meter to spin. This is where we'll start. Your PWM valve will have this black cap on it. You'll take a couple adjustable wrenches, get that cap off, and with your fan running or with hydraulics going to this PWM, we'll thread this red needle valve in. And once you get about 3/4 of the way down, it should start spinning that motor no matter what. What we're doing is we are forcing oil to go to our meter motor. When it's threaded out, we're relying on the electronics to open this valve to allow oil flow to the meter. We're bypassing all that and forcing it when we thread this in. So what we're testing here is if you have correct hydraulics going to here and you thread this in, that motor has to spin. If it does not, then we have a hydraulic issue. So this is where you would start. You would troubleshoot, is my issue hydraulic hookup or is it electronics? If you thread that in and your meter motor spins, we now have either a lack of voltage at your ISO port, which the two large prongs are what are providing our high current power to give this juice. Test for 12 volts out of those center 2 ports on the back of your tractor. From there, I would try to run a calibration within your rate controller and start troubleshooting from there. But this is the PWM valve. That is the red needle valve that I will have you guys turn, and we'll talk about that frequently when troubleshooting.